Welcome to the national final of the 2015 Science and Engineering Challenge. Congratulations on making it this far so far. My name's Sarah and I'm from the SMART program here at the university, and our passion is to share science with everyone. So we like to show everyone just how exciting science can really be. So who have we got at the end here in the blue? Bendigo, welcome Bendigo. What about in the orange and in the maroon and yellow? St. Pius, welcome. And in the blue and black? Darwin, welcome guys. So the first thing that I want to show you is a special cannon. And this is actually a vortex cannon. Has anyone seen a vortex cannon before? What do they do? Versions of a vortex cannon here. One is just a garbage bin, because I need the smoke for it to work. It's actually just so that we can see what's happening. So I have a smoke machine here. I'm going to fill my container here with smoke. And you see a really cool thing that happens when I hit the back. Can you guys see the smoke rings coming out? They're actually vortexes. And they make a ring, a donut-shaped ring, and in mathematical terms, we call that a toroid. So we call them toroidal vortexes. So I'm going to need one volunteer. Would anyone like to come up? Would you like to come up? What's your name? Hi, Dion. I'm Sarah. So you can choose, would you like to use the small or the large cannon? Here is actually the same effect as a one-cylinder engine. So I've put a fuel into this container, and it's actually full of air, the oxygen. Oxygen are in the air around us. And if I put this match inside, that's an ignition source, and we're going to see combustion. So how is you can still hear it, it's sort of making a whooshing noise. How is that energy released? There are 3 different ways that it was released. Can anyone tell me? Yep. Sound energy, absolutely, good answer. Yep. Absolutely, heat energy. So, to prove that, what's your name? Max, could you touch that and tell everyone what it feels like? It's pretty hot, absolutely. So, a lot of heat energy is released. There was one other way it was released. Light energy, absolutely. So, you saw the flame coming out here when it was, when the combustion happened. So what happens during that combustion is the methanol that I had in there, I actually let it evaporate and combine with the oxygen. Welcome guys, congratulations on getting this far. You're just coming in time to hear why this explosion that you just missed happened. So inside there, the methanol actually evaporated and it mixed up with the air. And the oxygen is really important and it's required for the combustion to actually happen. So once I put my ignition source in there, the methanol and oxygen actually turned into carbon dioxide gas and water vapor, and that actually expands as it gets hot, and so that's why we saw that big expansion and big explosion. So that's just how your combustion engine works as well. So it actually pushes the piston out as the explosion happens, and that's attached to the wheels, and that's what actually makes them spin. So it's exactly how your car works. The next thing that I want to show you is one of my favourite things to do experiments with. Has anyone seen one of these before? Can anyone tell me what it is? What's inside? Liquid nitrogen, absolutely. So on campus here we have a lot of research facilities and we actually use liquid nitrogen for a whole range of different purposes. So who can tell me what the boiling point of water is? Anyone? 100 degrees, absolutely. It's 100 degrees Celsius. Who thinks they might be able to tell me what the boiling point of liquid nitrogen might be? Any ideas? It's very, very low. It's actually minus 196 degrees Celsius. So liquid nitrogen in the air around us here, which is about 25 degrees room temperature, is actually going to boil. So in my container here I actually have liquid nitrogen. And you can see all of the smoky looking stuff coming off. Can everyone see that liquid is jumping around inside, it's actually boiling. Because of the huge temperature difference, it's much, much hotter than its boiling point. So the liquid nitrogen is actually changing states. The liquid is turning to gaseous nitrogen. But this smoky looking stuff here, it's not actually the nitrogen gas. It's actually water vapor. So in the air around us, especially on a humid day, there's a lot of water vapor in the air. And this stuff here is so cold that it actually condenses that water vapor back to water itself. So it's really, really, really cold stuff. Can anyone tell me what some health risks might be? Why might it be a bit dangerous? Up the back? Absolutely cold burns. So you've noticed I'm wearing these big long gloves, these thermal gloves, and they protect my hands in case a little bit gets on me. So this stuff here is actually so cold, it burns you. So I have here a bit of a representation of one of our hands. So we're made up of 60% water. So in this glove here, welcome guys, you're just in time to see some of our science show. We're just playing with some liquid nitrogen here, so it's really, really cold stuff. And this is a representation of our hand. So it's filled with water. Good representation of our cells, which are about 60% water, and it's just inside a glove. So I'm going to pop it in liquid nitrogen, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to come back to it in a minute. So while that is doing its thing in there, I have a balloon here. Inside a balloon is a gas, the air around us. So about 80% nitrogen, some oxygen. So it's the air around us. What do you think would happen if I put it inside the liquid nitrogen? Any ideas? Up the back? Shrinks? Good answer, let's test it out. So in here we've got a gas, and gases expand a lot. They've got lots of energy, they're moving around, and they take up a lot of room. We're going to put it into the water here, into the liquid nitrogen, sorry. We're going to see what happens. So as it's warming back to room temperature, you can see the gas has come back and it's turned into a balloon dog. So this here is actually the gas expanding back out, but I played a trick on you because it's not actually the balloon I put in there. This was a balloon dog that someone made for me this morning and put in there. So the gas actually shrinks and turns into liquid, it turns to water, or liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen when it's cooled low enough. So the balloon that I've just put in there, inside this balloon is actually liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen. And as the temperature rises back to room temperature, you can see that the liquid oxygen is turning back into gaseous oxygen. So really cool stuff that you can do with something as cold as liquid nitrogen. Welcome guys, we're just looking at some liquid nitrogen here. Really, really cold stuff. Boiling point of minus 196 degrees Celsius. And it actually causes gases to turn to liquid. So you can see that the balloon shrinks when it turns to when the gas inside turns to a liquid, and then it recovers and turns back to a gas when the temperature comes back up. So just a minute ago before you guys came in, I put a glove filled with water in the liquid nitrogen, and that's a really good representation of what our hand would be like inside this liquid nitrogen. So this is a bit of a demonstration of why not to put your hand in liquid nitrogen. So you can see the water vapor again around it. This glove is actually frozen solid. Because it was in the liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius, the water inside, which has a boiling point of 100 degrees, is actually turned to a solid. And you can see it's totally solid. So if that was our actual hand, the cells inside our hand would actually burst. Why would the cells burst? Any ideas? If you were to fill a water bottle up and pop it in the freezer overnight and come back in the morning, if you filled it right to the top, that water bottle will probably have cracked or expanded. And that's because solid water, ice, actually expands and takes up more room than liquid water. So the expansion of the water in our cells, 60% water, turning into a solid ice, is actually going to burst our cells open as it expands. So really nasty stuff if you get it on yourself. So that's why I'm wearing my protective equipment today. So to prove to you that a gas is being formed, I'm going to try and fill this copper pot here with some liquid nitrogen. So this one can be a little bit difficult to do. As it boils so quickly, it's sometimes hard to get the liquid nitrogen inside. So if I were to put a balloon over this, you can actually see that gas is being produced. It's not enough pressure to blow the balloon up completely, but you can see that this balloon is now full of gas, and that's actually the nitrogen gas that's being produced when the liquid nitrogen boils. So we've talked a little bit about liquid nitrogen, how it can change states. There's one really cool thing that liquid nitrogen can do. Sorry about that. It's actually got a special effect called the Leidenfrost effect, and you might actually see this at home. So if I were to drop some here, you might not be able to see from the back, but it actually forms little beads. Can anyone see the little beads forming, guys, at the front? It forms little beads, and they roll around and they don't evaporate quite as quickly as you expect. Welcome, guys. We're just looking at some liquid nitrogen. Really, really, really cold liquid, minus 196 degrees Celsius boiling point. So the reason it forms these little beads is because underneath that liquid nitrogen is boiling so quickly that it's forming a little sort of protective layer of gaseous nitrogen underneath those beads. And that means that the beads don't evaporate as quickly. So it can actually stop them from evaporating for a longer time. And you guys can see that. If you heat a pan up at home, heat it up really, really hot, and drip water in it, and the water sometimes beads up and rolls around in the pan. Has anyone seen that before? Yeah? So that's the Leidenfrost effect. Really clever stuff. So the next thing that I want to show you, we've talked a little bit about liquids and gases. The other state, as you guys would know, is a solid. But what about things that don't really fit into one of those? There are some things that don't really fit into one of the categories that we know. And we call the ones that are a mixture between a solid and a liquid. They've got properties of both. We call that soft matter. And I'm going to show you one quick experiment here. This is called elephant's toothpaste. In here I've got hydrogen peroxide, and here I have potassium iodide, which is a catalyst. And as I tip them together, you're going to see some soft matter forming. So in a second, it's coming up now. So what's happening is the hydrogen peroxide is decomposing into oxygen and water. And that oxygen is getting trapped inside, it's forming all this foam, and that is the elephant's toothpaste reaction. So you can see it's an exothermic reaction, it gives off heat. Really, really cool stuff. Not quite a solid, not quite a liquid, it is soft matter. So that's all that we have time for today, guys. If you have any questions, you can find us on Facebook, the SMART program. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I hope you guys have a really, really great day today, and best of luck. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Science and Engineering Challenge 2015 National Final. You made it. Yeah. And how good was Sarah? Thank you very much for that science show, Sarah. I'd like to also welcome all our visitors here, thank our people who have volunteered. I'd like to acknowledge Mick, who's my event assistant today, and Brian, the regional chair for the organising committee. There's been a lot of work going into today, but the first thing is we need to make sure that everyone is here. So when I call out your school's name, can you give us the sort of normal cheer or whatever it is you do in your part of the world? So firstly, from the Northern Territory, Darwin High School. Now, Darwin High School have got a direct entry. They didn't have a Super Challenge in the territory, so they're coming up against you guys who've been through a regional and a Super. They're going to be working really hard today. From Tasmania, with a qualifying score at this Super Challenge of 1,270 points, it's Launceston Christian School. Good to have you guys along. From Victoria, with a qualifying score at their Super Challenge of 1,317 points, Bendigo Southeast College. They're pumped, they're ready to go, they're first team. From Queensland, now Queensland didn't have a Super Challenge, so they're in the same league as the Territory guys. They're up against stiff competition today, but they work hard. Riverside Christian School. And they're ready to go too. Local schools, we've got not one, not two, but three. The first one with a qualifying score of 1,328 points, New South Wales St Pius X High School. They're very calm, they've done all this before, okay. Talking about done it before, with a qualifying score, the New South Wales Super Challenge of 1,271.5, St Mary's High School. From South Australia, with a qualifying score of 1,250 points, welcome back to Emmanuel College. And the last one, the wildcard entry, the highest scoring winning school from the from the Newcastle competition. It was, and still is in fact, All Saints College, St Peter's campus. They're very cool. Now, while we're doing the cheers and things, someone told me a little bit before, there's someone here called Angela, might be having a birthday. Anyone else having a birthday today? Who is having a birthday? Jack, is it? Yeah. Can we, happy birthday, is that okay? You good with that, Red? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. Now, just for your interest, you've sung around the world. This is being streamed live on the internet to everyone who cares to tune in, and welcome to everyone out there. Also, we have a couple of other things for you. A few surprises today. One you may not have known about is the winner today, apart from being the national champion, will also get a free Google experience in Sydney at their HQ. Yeah. We're also, apart from streaming live, we have Instagram running today. There's a frame over there. Feel free to use that at lunchtime, or if you can squeeze it in through the day. And if you'd like to do some posting, we'll do some reposting for you. Hashtag Science Challenge. We'll repost the best photos. We're going to get started now, and how's that going to happen? Okay, there's going to be a few things that are going to be surprises. This is the first one. Okay, actually I should just run through, getting excited here, what needs to happen in terms of housekeeping. Firstly, everyone's got a coloured wristband. Please no changing that wristband. That needs to stay in place. No swapping. Toilets located just outside the door there. Lunchtime will be across, it'll be served on the concourse between the foyer and the pool deck. And we'll be meeting back here at 12 noon, just like normal, at the end of lunch. And also, of course, at the end of the day at 2 o'clock, we'll come back here. In an emergency, please assemble in the Oval 2, just outside the front door. And of course, you've all got to work hard if you want to win today. There's a teachers' meeting next door in HPE. If the teachers would like to follow me afterward, we'll have a brief session then. Now we're going to do the draw. Okay, just take a breath, Terry. It's all good. First one, if you are in the purple group, would you like to stand up for me, please? Everyone in the purple group. Now I've got Brian Atkins, our regional chair, out the front, so everyone should have a purple wristband on. Yeah, good. Brian's going to pull an activity out of here at random, and it is grasping at straws. So grasping at straws today is being run by Meg, I think. Meg Cook. There's Meg. Would you like to go across and follow Meg upstairs? Next one is the blue group. Everyone in the blue group, can you stand up, please? Okay, Brian, dive in there. At random we have, we've got the airship. The airship today is being run by Brian. Give us a wave, Brian. Here he is. Everyone in the blue group, would you like to follow Brian across? Next one is the green group. On your feet, please. Green wristband, people. Okay, so what would you like to come out of here? Bad Luggage World Sailing Spectacular. And that's with Bob over in the corner. Give us a wave, Bob. There he is. Can you make your way over there, please? Doing well. Yellow, on your feet, please. Let's draw the yellow. So he's hoping for the bridge. The previous guy was hoping for the catapult, but you've got Stringways. So Stringways is being run by Kirili over here. Orange people, on your feet. Okay, drawing it out. This one is Confounding Communications. Confounding Communications. Today it's being run by Stephanie Reid. Where are you, Steph? There she is over at the door. You're going upstairs. Only three colours to go. This is red, so hang on a second. Red, on your feet. Red, you're doing Electricity. Electricity with Fiona. Over the side. Okay, Pink, you're up next. Only two to go. Not bridge. You got a 50-50 chance, and you have Hover Frenzy. Okay, Hover Frenzy today being run by Jess. There she is. Jess is down there. Hover Frenzy. And what are the chances?
The chances, guys.
The bridge last. Okay, we'll see you back here after lunch at 12 noon. Have a very good morning, teachers. If you'd like to follow me, please. We'll have a brief meeting.
Terry,